and thank you for tuning in to today's event here at the North Shore 9th Grade Center. I am Tanner DeLeon, and I will be your broadcaster throughout this event this evening. Due to weather and schools getting out late, having to travel across Houston, we are starting a little bit behind. So if you have been tuning in to the broadcast, you have been seeing a blank screen up to this point because we have had no events go just yet, but we are about to get underway here shortly. The field events are off to our right, and although we will not be calling out those live after we get the results in, we will give you those final results. But we are currently waiting to start the races here this evening. And thank you for tuning in, and we do apologize for the late start. But we will get underway here shortly with the 2,400-meter run. Soon as those guys check in for us, we will be putting together the 7th grade and 8th grade. I do not have full names here, so I do apologize, but for the 7th grade is Lewis and Bolton. That will be lane 1 and lane 2, and then Cheek and Green, that'll be lane 3 and lane 4, all from Highlands Middle School. And again, waiting for them to get to the starting meet. Checking in as I see them do so now down below. But we will be watching the weather as this goes on as well. It's very windy down there on the track, so that will cause a little bit of effect in all of the events today. And then, of course, with the rain possibility this evening, we will keep you updated with that as well as we go along. But thank you for tuning in today here in North Shore. We have a handful of schools with us from North Shore, Galena Park, Cunningham, Highlands, Alice Johnson, and I believe that is all of them. If I did miss a few, I do apologize. I will get that to you as soon as I see more teams. The teams have been filtering through here. We do believe we do have all the teams here as of now from these schools. But the wind is blowing super hard down there on the track meet. I can only imagine the athletes trying to run in this weather. It's a little bit chilly as well, probably around 60 degrees, so not ideal running weather. It will be hard to, set solid times maybe to what you're used to once you've been prepared to do. But these young athletes trying to get it started here at the young level of 7th and 8th grade before they are able to make that leap up to high school. But we are still waiting for the track, the racing to get underway. The field events have begun, but we will get you those final results as soon as they bring the list up to us. Thank you again for tuning in this evening and being so patient with us. We should be starting here any moment now. And the first race will be the 2,400-meter run with only 4 total runners between 7th and 8th grade, all from Highlands Middle School. We are putting them together. So it will be Lewis in lane 1, Bolton in lane 2, Cheek in lane 3, and Green in lane 4. As I know of. But we will keep you updated if anything changes because we can get some scratches throughout this race, although we did already have a few before we got the heat sheets. But if anything comes about, I will fill you in on that. And so as of right now, the 7th grade runners, Lewis and Bolton, for the 2,400-meter run have not checked in, so they will be scratched for that race. So it looks like the 8th graders, 2 buddies from Highlands Middle School, Cheek and Green, will race against each other. So best of luck to them. So after those two scratches of Lewis and Bolton for the 7th grade boys from Highland Middle School, we will be adding one from Highlands Middle School. Moore will be running in the 2,400-meter run for the 7th grade boys, along with the 8th grade boys in Cheek and Green still. Moore should be in lane 1 with Cheek in lane 2, Green and lane 3, as they are down on the field warming up. Again, not the best conditions to be running in this evening. Very windy, a little cold, and then a high chance of rain as the hours go on. So they will be running in obstacles that they are possibly not used to during these track meets, and one still being early on, first day of March 1st. So weather still not trying, or it's trying to get warm, but still not quite there. People still recovering from the ice storm here in the Houston area. But as those boys are lining up here at the start line, I believe lane 1 is Moore, lane 2 is Cheek, lane 3 is Green. If I do have that mistaken, I will catch you up. But for the 2,400-meter run, 7th grade boys and 8th grade boys together, all three are from Highlands Middle School, as they line up at the starting line.
Ready at the top. Yeah, we're ready, Coach. Yep.
So as they look to get underway, the first race about to begin here in North Shore. And there's the gun. So as these boys get underway, I mean, the 2,400-meter run, that is that is 6 laps around the track. And man, I was never a speedster, to say the least, at my age, and I was never a track athlete. But one thing I was always terrible at was that long distance. I mean, I could give you a solid 1 lap around the track, but that would probably be my best chance at competing in anything. So if you can only imagine what 6 laps would be like, this is what these 7th and 8th grade boys from Highlands Middle School are doing right here, as they are coming around the corner here on the first lap. Hard to differentiate because they are all from Highlands Park. But as the results are coming through, I will keep you updated with that. Should be more 7th grade from Highlands, and then Cheek and Green, 8th grade from Highlands, all running together, because only a total of 3 of them today in this event. So as the first lap is down, I want to say it's Cheek and Green holding their own close neck and neck with Moore bringing up in 3rd. For the 2,400-meter run, I mean, you do have to pace yourself. It's not a sprint, to say the least, but you have to control your breathing. You have to get your stride down. You have to be mentally prepared of how many laps you have to run around the track, and you want to, be your best time. But if you do get out ahead of yourself, you will be hurting on those final laps. And I can only imagine what these 12, 13, and 14-year-old boys are, able to prepare for these long races right here, as we have a pass-up wrapping around on the second lap as of now. They are close, still neck and neck. But I believe Green has taken the lead. I do see the stickers on the shorts now. So Green, a slight lead ahead of Cheek, with Moore bringing it up in 3rd. But with so many laps still to go, anything is possible in these 2,400-meter runs. Anybody can catch a second win, a second stride, and it's just a matter of time until you're down to that last 100-meter sprint, and it's all up for grabs. But thank you for tuning in today. We are starting a little later than advertised, so we do apologize for that, but thank you for your patience, and thank you for listening this evening. As field events are going on as well, we will get you those results in as soon as we get them here upstairs. Thankfully for us, we are in the booth, so we don't have to face the wrath of this wind. It's a whole nother obstacle for these athletes to face here today. But Cheek staying close to green as they are rounding the third lap here. Have to keep him in striking distance, so when you do get to those final lap, you can make your run to try to pass up his opponent, which is also his friend, all three racers being out of Highlands Middle School. However, no Lewis or no Bolton for the 7th grade boys. Instead, Moore stepped in for Highlands in the 7th grade section, all racing together since there were only 3 racers in this heat. But as they are halfway done, Cheek and Green trying to extend his lead slowly but surely. It's never easy to run this amount of distance on any day, but let alone a cold, windy evening here in North Shore. But if my heat sheet is correct, the 4x100 meter relay will be next, and those will be separate between the 7th and 8th grade. There will be 3 middle schools of each competing. That'll be Cunningham, North Shore, and Galena Park. And any updates on those racers I will have to you as soon as possible. As Green and Cheek look to finish their 3rd lap. So on to the 4th with only 2 remaining. Running hard here this evening. The lights are shining bright down on the track. Athletes in the stands trying to stay warm, waiting for their race. With the field events continuing to go on off to our right. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. I am Tanner De Leon. If I do sound familiar, it's because I was doing the Galena Park basketball games earlier this season. It was a blast. Both boys and girls enjoyed it all. I've been fortunate enough to continue to do some more sporting events as I am today with track and field, and hopefully for the remainder of the season. But Green able to continue to extend his lead on Cheek. He has been able to catch his stride here as of late. He is extending his lead. Had a good sprint right there for a straight distance and then let off the gas just a little bit. Still having one more lap to go. Be the final lap for Cheek and Green. Moore about to finish the starting point, and he will have 2 more laps to go. But Cheek's gonna have to hit another gear if he looks to surpass Green here in the 2,400 meter run. I was never one for running, let alone never one for exercising in the cold. It was a different element that growing up in the southern Houston area I rarely saw, so I was never accustomed to. I was always a person who would beg to give me the 100-degree weather because that's something I was able to thrive in, experiencing it about 8 months out of the year. So cold weather days, cold weather events, I was never one to compete highly in, but Green extending his lead, looking like he's not having any issue here in the cold today, with Cheek trying to make up some ground here on this final lap, but Green finishing strong here on the straightaway. I will get you this time in as soon as I can. But Green crossing the finish line with an unofficial time of 8:27 for Green, as Cheek making a strong sprint here at the end with a time of 8:40. So both 8th grade runners right there at a Highlands Middle School doing a very well job to begin play today. Cheek and Green were neck and neck for those first 4 laps, and then Green started to pull away late and able to maintain that lead to finish first with an 8:27 mark.
This is the first call for the 400-meter relay. First call for the 400-meter relay. At this time, check in down at the finish line.
And next up will be the 4x100-meter relay, 7th and then 8th grade, as Moore about to cross the finish line with still one more lap remaining. The lone 7th grade runner today. The initial 2, Lewis and Bolton, not able to compete today. Best of luck to them moving forward. But Green able to finish first with an 8:27, and Cheek with an 8:40. And Moore on his final lap. But the 4x100-meter relays was always one of my favorite events to watch. Never a part of, but always to watch. You were able to see true sprinters work as a team, because it really relies on that pass of the baton, which can separate you from first to third in a heartbeat. So see what Cunningham, North Shore, and Galena Park have in store for that race, as they are looking to check in as of now. With Moore less than half a lap to go to finish his 2,400-meter run. Green was able to finish in an 8:27, with Cheek finishing in an 8:40. But the field events continue to go on to our right side with the triple jump, long jump, high jump, and I believe shot put and discus. So as soon as we get those results in, I will get those to you on air. As Moore is on the last home stretch here in the 2,400-meter run, finishing up strong for the 7th grade Highlands Middle School. Finishing at 11:54 is Moore. So the 4x100 about to get underway. 7th grade will go first. Cunningham Middle School in order from first to 4th in running, as long as they have not changed by my knowledge, will be T. Washington, D. Barnes, B. Sudds, and T. Anderson. For North Shore, it'll be J. Ponce, P. Ford, J. Bonilla, and C. Calicut. And then for Galena Park, will be D. Runnels, C. Clay, E. Ramirez, and J. Ruiz. So that will be in lane 3, 4, and 5 for the 7th grade 4x100 meter relays here in North Shore. And I do have the final results for the 7th grade boys triple jump. Finishing first out of Cunningham Middle School is D. Barnes, who is about to race, to my knowledge, in the 4x100 meter relay. So kid is doing it all this evening, finishing with a 35 feet 5.5 inches on his jump, with F. Noyola out of Cunningham, 32 feet and 1 inch. H. Johnson out of Cunningham, 28 feet and 9 3/4 inch. So Cunningham representing strong for the 7th grade boys triple jump to finish top 3 overall. Finishing 4th was Jay Ruiz, 5th Jay Thompson, 6th K Combs, 7th K Merchant, all finishing very close to each other. 3rd through 7th was separated by only a foot, so those boys were able to compete hard in that event. As they get prepped for the 4x100 meter relay, 7th grade boys will be first, as they are going to their respective starting line based on the position they are in. And final results for the boys discus throw 8th grade. Finishing first is K. Bradley out of Cunningham with a 97.5. Second, Jay Wheelock, out of Alice Johnson with an 89. Third, Jay Villarreal out of North Shore with an 84.5. And then finishing up is A. Gonzalez, T. Scott, J. Brigham, J. Lopez, R. Escobar, and M. Lopez. That was 8th grade boys discus throw. So Cunningham representing strong so far to start today's event here in North Shore. But they are still getting ready down there on the field for the 4x100 meter relay. Just to reiterate, the first one was the boys' 2,400 meter run, 7th and 8th grade combined. Moore, the lone 7th grader out of Highland Middle School, finished with 11.54. Green and Cheek, the 8th grade boys out of Highlands Middle School. Green finishing with an 8.27 and Cheek an 8.40. That was a great first race between those two, neck and neck for over 2/3 of the race before Green was able to pull away on the last 2 laps. But the boys are now lining up at the starting line for the 7th grade boys 4x100 meter relay. One of my favorite events here in track and field. One of the true team effort races that really have to rely on one another and know one another to cut in to as many seconds as possible. So again, for Cunningham, going from leg 1 to 4 be T. Washington, D. Barnes, B. Sudds, and T. Anderson. North Shore in lane 4, J. Ponce, P. Ford, J. Bonilla, and C. Calicut. And then for Galena Park, lane 5 will be D. Runnels, C. Clay, E. Ramirez, and J. Ruiz.
3 with green. Green all up at the top. We're ready up top.
So as the field events continue to finish up, I will be getting you those results as they come through. So far, the 8th grade boys discus throw, K. Bradley taking it for Cunningham, and then D. Barnes for the 7th grade boys triple jump, taking it for Cunningham as well. And we are underway for the first leg of the 4x100 meter relay, 7th grade boys. Coming around that first leg, staying pretty tight, but Galena Park having a small lead. Missing a pylon, the baton handoff, really hurting Galena Park there. The first leg having to run quite a bit further than what he is used to and would have liked. So out in front is currently Cunningham, with North Shore and Galena Park to follow. Coming up here on the last leg, Cunningham trying to hold their lead. North Shore and Galena Park trying to track down. Finishing the race is Cunningham, followed by North Shore and Galena Park.
All right, we can clear those guys off the track. We'll get the 8th graders on the track.
So a little bit of a mishap from Galena Park on that first leg exchange to the second leg. Really was the difference maker for them.
Field events left. Go back to your field events. So finish up again. 7th grade boys who just got off the track running. Still have a field event to finish up. Head back to it right now. This is the first call for the 7th grade boys. 800 meter run. First call for the 7th grade boys. 8 meter run. Again, 800 meter run. Check in. Galena Park. They're going 8 meters. Galena Park 54-56. All right, what I'm doing right now.
And the final times for that, Cunningham finishing with a 49.55, North Shore a 52.20, and Galena Park a 54.56. So Galena Park was out in front after that first leg, and then a mishap on the handoff with the baton caused them to fall behind and never able to make up for it. Cunningham took advantage and never looked back. So as that finished up, next is the 8th grade boys for the 4x100 meter relay. In lane 3 for Galena Park is A. Cortez, J. Macias, J. Gutierrez, and W. Mejia. For Cunningham in lane 4 is T. McDuffie, C. Brown, K. Bailey, and D. Hardman. And then for North Shore in lane 5 is J. Mooten, V. Smith, K. Carruthers, and J. Soto.
Right now we're waiting on green in 1 and 2. We got a green in 3.
So Cunningham starting off strong as a whole here in the events. See if North Shore and Galena Park can have something to say about that here for the 8th grade boys 4x100 meter relay. As the gun is off and the first leg is off.
Again, at this time, I need 7th grade boys checking in.
As Cunningham taking a short lead above North Shore and Galena Park. North Shore trying to hawk down Cunningham on the second leg. The third leg handoff is underway. Good handoffs all around thus far. Cunningham still maintaining their lead. Coming up on the last leg here on the home stretch. Cunningham trying to finish strong. Able to do so with North Shore in second and Galena Park in third. So Cunningham started off strong and never looked back, able to grow that lead and maintain it, capturing another first place victory.
What we look like in on the chickens? Y'all yelling for them?
4834. 4834. North Shore 5017.
So with the times coming in, Cunningham finishing with a 48:34, North Shore of 50:17, and Galena Park 53:27. So Cunningham able to take both 4x100 meter relays for 7th and 8th grade. Be a good race between the two because the 8th grade finished with the 48:34, 7th grade 49:55. So very close to each other in that aspect, but all around same for North Shore and Galena Park. But Cunningham able to start off strong here in today's event. For the 7th grade boys long jump, results coming in. A very, very close finish between the top 3 competitors. But D. Barnes taking it for Cunningham, B. Suds in second for Cunningham, and R. Madrano for Alice Johnson rounding up the third. That was a 15-foot, 7-inch long jump for first, 15 1-inch for second, and a 15 even for third. So very close right there from all 3 participants, with E. Ramirez, D. Runnels, F. Noyola, K. Merchant, J. Thomas, and C. Clay finishing up the 7th grade boys long jump. But we are currently waiting for the boys' 800-meter run, the 7th grade boys' 800-meter run to get underway. So as I have on my heat sheet, there are 15 participants for the boys, the 7th grade boys' 800-meter run. However, I am not sure if all of those will be on the track today. But I will name those participants if they are there. That's I. Cavozos out of Alice Johnson. Alamillo from Highlands Middle School. M. Stewart from Cunningham. Lewis from Highlands. J. Valdez from Galena Park. N. Simmons from Cunningham. P. Granados from Alice Johnson. M. Ponce from North Shore. X. Granados from Alice Johnson. T. Cortez from Galena Park. J. Baines from North Shore. P. Almarez from Cunningham. B. Martinez from North Shore. J. Navarro from Galena Park. And then Marshall from Highlands Middle School. So on the list, 15 participants. We will see if all of those. But as the 7th grade boys are lining up, not quite 15 at the line, so not sure who we will be missing today. I will get you those results as they are happening. I will be looking for the numbers on the short to be my best way to get that information for you. But talking for final results, the 8th grade boys long jump, Jay Harrell out of Cunningham with in first, Jay Macias out of Galena Park, and then G. Chandler and Alice Johnson finishing out the top 3, jumping a 17-foot by 7-inch, 17 5-inch, and a 16 8-inch. So very close competition for those top 3 as well. And then finishing up is J. Verdine out of Cunningham, M. Lewis, Galena Park, and C. Ross out of Cunningham, with C. Patterson and J. Gutierrez not qualifying. But as the 7th grade boys line up for the 800-meter run, looks like we will have 10 participants at the line. Is what I count right now for the 7th grade boys 800-meter run. The gun will be sounding off just here in a minute. Wind still blowing very hard. No sign of rain yet. It's been getting pushed back all afternoon. Well, we will keep you updated with that. I know they are cold in the tank top and shorts. A couple of them with long sleeves out there. But this is not ideal running weather, not ideal spring weather here in North Shore. But as the boys get to the line for the gun sounds.
No 13, no 15. Okay. All right. Scratch 13 and 15.
So no B. Martinez out of North Shore and no Marshall out of Highlands Middle School. But to our knowledge, everybody else is on the track, about to get underway for the 7th grade boys 800-meter run. 2 laps around the track. Not as much as the 2,400-meter run, obviously. So not that you can sprint 800 meters at the same pace, but you do have a different approach in how you attack the 800-meter run compared to the 2,400.
Yeah, we're ready up top, Coach.
So as the gun is getting ready to sound, 7th grade boys are at the starting line. And they are off. So 13 kids running this race. A lot of conjunction going on to be passing one another. But they are off. You can tell Cunningham in the bright blue with Galena Park in the black and North Shore in the red. First 3 are out of Cunningham. I'll get you those names as soon as possible. However, North Shore and Galena Park in close contention, trying to make their laps. As they approach the final 100 meters on this first lap here in the 7th grade boys 800-meter run. They have to start in separate lanes. Well, spread out to say the least, but then they all converge into the inside lanes. But Cunningham out in front with North Shore and Galena Park close in the 3rd and 4th battling. 1 lap down, 1 lap to go here for the 7th grade boys 800-meter run. And I will get you these results as quickly as possible as the field events have finished up for today. But boys starting to slow down just a little bit. I think they were sprinting out early. And they all taken a little bit off here on the 2nd lap. But Cunningham still holding the first 2 spots with North Shore in 3rd. Cunningham in 4th, and then Galena Park in 5th and 6th. This will be a close finish here on these final 200 meters. Right now it's a friendly battle between 2 Cunningham athletes. On the final sprint, kicking into gear. Here are the sprinters. This is P. Granados and P. Alvarez, both out of Cunningham on a dead sprint, racing against each other. But Granados able to hold on to that top spot with Alvarez coming up just behind him in 2nd. And another close finish between 3rd and 4th is M. Stewart passing up M. Ponce of North Shore to take the third spot. So a good last leg, last 100-meter run here from the 7th grade boys, giving it their all here. Finishing strong, representing for their schools. I will get you the times as they come in. But Granados able to finish first with Alvarez coming in second, followed up by Stewart. That was an incredible finish there on the last 100 meters. So I will get you those final results as they come in. But for the top 3 spots was Granados out of Alice Johnson, Alvarez out of Cunningham, and Stewart out of Cunningham. Great finish between Granados and Alvarez on that last 100 meters. They were in a dead sprint against each other. But the 8th grade boys 800-meter run at the line, ready to get underway. It'll be A. Rosales out of Cunningham, D. Bastillos out of Galena Park, I. Q. Rose out of Galena Park, X. Rangel out of North Shore, S. Scott out of Cunningham, J. Gray out of Cunningham, and D. Girola out of Galena Park. And we have an add-in for the 8th grade 800-meter run. Will be Reyes out of North Shore. So Cunningham having 3 racers, North Shore now having 2, and Galena Park having 3. Pretty evenly matched here for the 8th grade 800-meter run. See what these boys have in store for us, as the 7th grade race was a phenomenal finish between Granados and Alvarez. I will get you those times as soon as possible.
We're ready at the top.
And the gun is off. The 8th grade 800-meter run is on. And stepping out in front right now is North Shore, but Cunningham hot on the tail. Running against the wind is not easy. That's something these boys have been having to fight against so far this evening and will continue to do so. But right now, neck and neck is North Shore and Cunningham. Coming around on the last 100 meters of the 800-meter run, maintaining his lead. Is Rangel out of North Shore, followed by Rosales out of Cunningham, Gray out of Cunningham, Bastillos out of Galena Park, and Reyes out of North Shore. So 1 lap down, 1 lap to go. And this is the toughest part here of the 800-meter relay. You're running hard to get out in front, trying to maintain that lead, trying to grab a big enough lead to be able to relax just a little bit, but not easy to do with Rosales able to take the first spot, followed by Bastillos out of Galena Park. So striding here on their last 200 meters, I anticipate another good finish on the last sprint, the last 100 here. As Bastillos is looking to make the move on this last curve for Galena Park to pass Rosales. Gonna be a good finish as his Galena Park teammates are cheering him on here on the sideline. Bastillos and Rosales here on the last sprint. 100 meters is all they need. Rosales out in front, quickly followed by Bastillos, trying to finish strong. It's going to be a close finish between the two. Rosales able to finish first with Bastillos coming in second, and a close third and fourth by two Cunningham runners as well. So another great finish there on the last 100 meters. I mean, we have your buddies cheering you on from the stands. I mean, he gives you an extra gear that you just want to put on for the team, put on for the squad. So a great job finishing the race once again on the 800-meter run, this time by the 8th graders, with Rosales out of Cunningham taking it, Bastillos out of Galena Park finishing right behind him in second. So back-to-back solid finishes there by the 7th grade and 8th grade boys 800-meter run. Was a fantastic ending. The last 100 meters really sprinting and giving it their all. But next up is the boys 110-meter hurdles. Hey, did you say you're doing 8th grade first? 7th grade for the hurdles still? Okay. So the 7th grade 110-meter hurdles will be first. And I will name off the participants that I have on my sheet. Jay Smith in lane 1 out of North Shore. M. Stelly, lane 2 out of Cunningham. J. Thomas, lane 3 out of North Shore. P. Williams, lane 4 out of Cunningham. N. Simmons, lane 5 out of Cunningham. I. Ruiz, lane 6 out of Alice Johnson. And T. Cortez in lane 7 out of Galena Park. All getting ready to run this 110-meter hurdles. Something I can never imagine myself doing. I was never a man who had much ups, to say the least. And to go with my quality speed, hurdles was the last thing on the bucket list to ever attempt. So nothing but praise for these young athletes running the hurdles here today. Anxious to see what I will be able to witness out of these 12 and 13-year-olds across the Houston area.
All right, well, we're going to stretch lane 1, and that's it, right? And the first heat, lane 1 stretch, the first heat. We're ready up top, coach.
And then just getting word, Jay Smith, lane 1 for North Shore, will not be participating. But everybody else in their respective lanes, ready to get started. And the gun is off. Boys out strong, all pretty even here on the hurdles. Going across. In lane 2 is Stelly. In lane 7 is Cortez, going neck and neck right now for Cunningham and Galena Park. Going to be a close finish between the two. Only one hurdle left to the finish line. Last sprint to finish. They didn't look like they knew where the finish line was.
Welcome back.
So that's an upsetting mishap to see. It was a tight neck and neck finish, but all the boys stopped after the last hurdle because they were not quite sure where the finish line was. But looks like Galena Park Cortez able to take the one spot. So a very close finish with the boys pulling up at the last second, but Cortez able to take the number one spot for Galena Park, finishing at a 23-second flat with Ruiz out of Alice Johnson, a 23:17, and then Thomas out of North Shore, 23:27, and Stelly, 23:54. All finishes were neck and neck because the boys weren't sure where to finish at, but Galena Park able to take it. And the second heat for the 7th grade 110-meter hurdles. At Galena Park in lane 3 will be E. Telexing. Lane 4, R. Madrano. Lane 5, K. Merchant. And they are off. So no Galena Park. So it's just Madrano and Merchant going head-to-head. Madrano in a small lead right now. Going over the hurdles. Trying to maintain it. Going over the last one, holding the lead. One more sprint. Able to finish out in front was Madrano for Alice Johnson.
At this time, this is the first call for the 7th grade boys 100-meter dash. At this time, this is the first call for the 7th grade boys 100-meter dash. Check in at this time.
So Madrano finishing with a 21:47, Merchant with a 22:19. Another close finish right there for the 7th grade 110-meter hurdles. Next is the 8th grade boys for the the 110-meter hurdles. In lane 2 is G. Chandler at Alice Johnson. Lane 3 is M. Moore at Galena Park. Lane 4 is Q. Dargins out of Cunningham. Lane 5 is C. Smith out of Cunningham. Lane 6 is C. Lopez out of Galena Park. And lane 7 is C. Patterson out of North Shore. With the gun firing, they are off. Neck and neck are the Cunningham boys with Alice Johnson close. Gonna be a close finish. Looks like Smith trying to grab the lead and maintain it with the last sprint. Able to do so. So I believe Smith was able to finish first for Cunningham. The 19.75. So with Smith out of Cunningham finishing with a 19.75, Chandler out of Alice Johnson with a 2013, and then Dargins out of Cunningham with a 2028. So a very close finish between those top three competitors right there. And the second heat for the 8th grade 110-meter hurdles will be J. Lovings out of Cunningham, C. Zapata out of Galena Park, G. Escobedo out of North Shore Middle School. That'll be lanes 3, 4, and 5. So we're about to get underway. A little more final results coming in from the field events. The 7th grade boys shot put coming in is Jay Curry with 30 feet 5 inch. J. Arduin out of Cunningham with a 29.6. F. Cantu out of Galena Park with a 28.3. So those top three competitors all finishing very close and well. And I will list off the rest of the names after this 110-meter hurdles race, which is underway. Getting out in front is Lovings out of Cunningham, followed by North Shore and then Galena Park. Lovings extending his lead, looking to secure that first spot as he does, followed by North Shore, Escobedo, and then Zapata out of Galena Park. So Lovings finishing with a 2020, a year that most of us would like to forget about, but that race was a good one by him. Followed by Escobedo from North Shore, 21.91, and Galena Park, 26.86. And to list off the rest of the 7th grade boys shot put, starting from 4th will be B. Resendez, Galena Park, Whitfield, Cunningham, X. Waters, North Shore, C. Oliver, North Shore, J. Cuevas, Galena Park, I. Soto Pena out of North Shore, K. Kai Derrida, Alice Johnson, and C. Rivera, Alice Johnson. Next up on the track will be the 7th grade boys 100-meter dash. So they are currently removing the hurdles from the track to get that underway. The 7th grade boys discus throw final results. X. Waters out of North Shore finishing first with an 85.06. D. Martinez out of Cunningham with a 70.08. And an M. Negron out of Cunningham a 67.09. So the top three rounding out right there. And then N. Hurtado, Cunningham. I. Soto Pena, North Shore. M. Montano Lopez, North Shore. N. Dominguez, Galena Park. I. Gonzalez, Galena Park. C. Rivera, Alice Johnson. And J. Guerrero, Galena Park.
Yes, we're ready. Is everybody clear down there?
And for the 7th grade boys 100-meter dash,
7, 1 through 6. So who's 7 is right?
we will have 7 participants. Starting in lane 1 will be C. Clay out of Galena Park. Lane 2, K. Champagne, love the last name, out of North Shore. Lane 3 is K. Combs, Galena Park. Lane 4 is Babin out of Highlands. Lane 5 is T. Anderson out of Cunningham. Lane 6 is Lawson out of Highlands. And lane 7 is U. Chiante out of Alice Johnson. So the hurdles are removed from the track. Boys lining up at the starting point. And the 100-meter dash is about to get underway.
Scratch lane 7 for sure.
So no Chiante out of Alice Johnson. But the gun sounds and the boys are off. Out in front are the Highlands middle schoolers, followed by Galena Park. Going to be a close finish. Looked like Highlands Park was able to take first and second. So Lawson out of Highlands finishing with a 13.77. A 13.99 by Babin out of Highlands. And then a 14.22 for Clay out of Galena Park to round out the top three there. So for the next heat, the 7th grade boys 100-meter dash. In lane 2 is Jay Martinez out of Galena Park. Lane 3 is N. Hurtado out of Cunningham. O'Neill, lane 4 out of Highlands. R. Burnett, lane 5 out of Alice Johnson. Lane 6 is T. Washington out of Cunningham. So the second heat for the 7th grade boys 100-meter dash. And there's the gun, and they are off. Coming out strong is Cunningham, followed by Galena Park. Going to be a close top 3 finish. Looks like O'Neill was able to take it. So Hurtado out of Cunningham, able to take first with a 13:39. Jay Martinez with a 13:66 for Galena Park, finished in second, with T. Washington a 13:68. Very close finish between all 3 of those racers, followed by O'Neill and Burnett. Next up is the 8th grade 100-meter dash with lane 1, W. Mejia out of Galena Park. No Perez or Gutierrez in lane 2 or 3. Lane 4 is McDuffie. 5 is Cortez. 6 is Lopez. 7 is Brown, as they are off and running. McDuffie trying to finish strong, but very close with Mejia out of Galena Park. Very close finish between McDuffie and Mejia. I think McDuffie might have had him by a nose. So finishing first was McDuffie. So McDuffie finishing with a 12:80 in first, Mejia with a 12:88 in second, and Brown with a 13:20 in third. That was neck and neck the whole way. A great finish right there. Mejia almost able to capitalize on him, but 0.08 of a second behind. As the second leg for the boys' 100-meter dash, the 8th grade is Enciso in lane 3, Verdine in lane 4, M. Lewis in lane 5. You have Green in lane 6 and Washington in lane 7. As races are lined up, I'm not sure if the gun was loaded per se. I think he was ready to fire it off, but then nothing happened. So I'll read you off the 8th grade boys shot put final results real quick, with T. Turnage finishing first for Cunningham with a 41.6, and then K. Bailey in Cunningham with a 39.5, and then W. Mejia out of Galena Park with a 38.4. So very close right there for the 8th grade shot put boys, with J. Isom, D. Boyd, J. Villarreal, Tapia, C. Zapata, English, C. Bailey, Chapa, and J. Bogan finishing that out for the 8th grade boys shot put. as they are talking about it on the line. Looks like everything is getting back situated. So the second heat of the 8th grade 100-meter dash is about to get underway. There goes the gun, and they are off. Coming out strong is Verdine for Cunningham in lane 4, setting the distance pretty well between the rest of the racers, finishing first with second, third, and fourth coming up very close between Enciso, Lewis, and Washington.
Now this is the final call for the 7th grade boys. 4 by 200-meter relay. Final call for 7th grade boys. 4 by 200-meter relay. This is the first call for the 8th grade boys. 4 by 2. No score. Don't worry about it. Meter relay. It was a no score. You had to add in lane 2.
So Verdine finishing with the 12:29 100-meter dash, setting himself apart from the competition for Cunningham. A great run by him.
Cunningham third. Well, I'm not marking them down because they're add-ins. So who's the other one? Okay, Highlands was a 1364. The 2 add-ins was no show. Oh, okay.
And
the
then
other one was 1373.
with Enciso finishing at 1364, Lewis set 1373 for Galena Park. So a great finish up right there. They were neck and neck for that second and third spot. Next up will be the 4 by 200 7th grade boys meter relay. So have to run a little bit longer than the 4 by 100. You'll be running 200 meters each. You have your first and second leg set up, and then third and fourth after they get going. And going from leg 1 to 4 in lane 3 for Galena Park is Cesar Lopez, D. Runnels, E. Ramirez, and E. Telexing. And then for lane 4, North Shore, J. Ponce, G. Mack, K. Bonilla, C. Calicut. And then Cunningham, lane 5, will be D. Barnes, J. Curry, B. Sudds, and T. Washington. That'll be for the 7th grade boys 4 by 200 meter relay. I have the final results for the 8th grade boys triple jump. J. Harrell for Cunningham leading the way with a 35.10. C. Brown for Cunningham with a 34.3. And M. Moore for Galena Park with 29.9 tied. Oh, no. He was put on twice for my spot. So, yes, M. Moore with the 29.9 for Galena Park. And then finishing it up is C. Patterson, A. Williams, and A. Cortez. But as the boys get underway here, we can tell from our windows in front of us, it looks like a little bit of rainfall is starting to commence. So another element added to what these boys are going to have to run through. Cold, windy, and now a little bit of rain because why not? But the 7th grade boys 4 by 200 meter relay about to get underway with Galena Park in lane 3, North Shore in lane 4, and Cunningham in lane 5.
Again, we're blue to blue, and then we're gold to gold. So blue to blue in the first stage, gold to gold in the second.
As they are getting lined up and underway. Hopefully the rain will be able to hold off just a bit longer to finish up the rest of this meet. But The 7th grade boys 4x200 meter relay about to get underway. And they are off. Barnes out strong for Cunningham, but making up ground is Ponce for North Shore, followed by Lopez and Galena Park. Ponce able to pass Barnes as they hand off for the second leg of this 4x2. North Shore out in front, trying to maintain the lead over Cunningham, with Galena Park in third. Here on the straightaway, looks like Curry able to pass Mack here on the second leg. Cunningham regaining the lead. As the handoff baton here for the third leg. Still have one more leg to go for the last 200 meters, with Cunningham leading, North Shore in second, and Galena Park in third. Cunningham trying to extend their lead. The other two trying to make up ground here for these last 200 meters, see if they are able to do so. The handoff for North Shore not going well. It was a missed handoff, dropping the baton. So falling way behind of Cunningham, running away with it is Washington, finishing up, followed by Calicut and Tilak Singh. So Cunningham able to finish in first, followed by North Shore, and then Galena Park. So a missed handoff by North Shore could have cost them the opportunity of first. Able to maintain that second spot, however. So Cunningham finishing with a 146.30. North Shore behind them with a 147. Galena with a 2:03.22. As we get the 8th grade boys 4x2 meter relay. In lane 3 will be Galena Park, started by Cortez, then Macias, then Mejia, and followed by Ubias. North Shore lane 4 is Carruthers, followed by Smith, Mouton, and Soto. And then lane 5 is Cunningham with Brown, Bailey, McDuffie, and Verdine. As they get lined up here on the first leg of the 4x2. After this 4x2, I'll give you the final results for the 7th grade boys high jump. And the gun is off. So the first leg underway. Cunningham out in front, followed by North Shore and then Galena Park. Galena Park making up ground, trying to grab that 2 spot. As the handoff for the second leg is taken. Cunningham still in the lead, with North Shore following, Galena Park behind. All about a little bit under a second apart of each other. Can be anybody's race on these last 2 legs. Both North Shore and Galena Park trying to make up ground. Here as the handoff goes for leg 3. Cunningham still out in front, followed by North Shore, then Galena Park. Here on leg 3 of the 4x2. As Cunningham maintaining their lead. With North Shore and Galena Park following. Galena Park having a little bit of trouble on the handoff this time around. But North Shore's final leg trying to catch up to Cunningham. It looks like Verdine will be able to hold on to that number 1 spot. With Soto bringing it up from North Shore and Ubias for Galena Park. So Cunningham able to hold on to the lead that they began with. Finishing first. So a 142.22 from Cunningham, a 145.51 from North Shore, and a 153.05 from Galena Park. Now the 7th grade boys high jump final results. C. Calicut for North Shore with a 4 feet 9 inch. J. Ponce from North Shore with a 4.9. So a couple buddies tying each other in distance right there. Followed closely by Jay Ruiz of Galena Park with a 4.4. With M. Ray, B. Sudge, T. Wicker, C. Clay, G. Mac, and K. Combs not qualifying. Next up on the track will be the 7th grade boys 400-meter dash. Looks like all 8 lanes will be filled here in Heat 1 with Lane 1, F. Noyola out of Cunningham. Lane 2, J. Lopez out of Highlands. Lane 3, C. Matthews, North Shore. Lane 4 is Zepeda out of Highlands. Lane 5 is E. Ramirez out of Galena Park. Lane 6 is G. Mack out of North Shore. Lane 7 is D. Bush out of Cunningham. Lane 8 is J. Martinez out of Galena Park. So one scratch will be E. Ramirez in lane 5 for Galena Park. Everybody else on the track ready to get underway for the 7th grade boys 400-meter dash. And the gun is off. Boys are underway. Out in front early on is Bush out of Cunningham, followed by Martinez for Galena Park. But 2 North Shore boys are on his tail. A very close top 4 right now. Coming on the last 200 meters of this 400-meter dash. It looks like C. Matthews out of North Shore in first right now, followed by Bush out of Cunningham. He is extending his lead, is Matthews, followed by Bush, Noyola, then Mack, so a very good finish there. As they are finishing up there down on the field. But Matthews out of North Shore able to take first, followed by Bush, Noyola, and then Mack.
We can get those guys off the track.
But the final results for the 8th grade boys high jump, Jay Harrell for Cunningham taking first with a 5-foot even. V. Smith out of North Shore with a 4.10. Jay Macias out of Galena Park with a 4.08. Tied with Verdine out of Cunningham with a 4.8. And then followed by M. Lewis, J. Gutierrez, and C. Patterson.
Hey, if they scratch the kid, they added one, and it's from the same school, just add them in that place.
And then it looks like Cunningham down here at the bottom, lane 7 is going to be 107.24. And it looks like lane 1, okay, is going to be 111.23. And then it looks now North Shore again. And
lane 3 or lane 6?
6 is going to be 112.30. Is it lane 5 maybe Galena Park or Alice Johnson? Or lane 4?
It's four. Second
Highland.
There'll be a scratch in lane
That's
3.
going to be 121.79.
So the second heat of the 7th boys 400-meter dash. In lane 2 is Jay Navarro out of Galena Park. No lanes 3 or 4. Lane 5 is H. Johnson out of Cunningham. Lane 6 is A. McCall out of Galena Park. Lane 7 is R. Burnett out of Alice Johnson. And lane 8 is P. Granados out of Alice Johnson. As the boys are lined up and ready to run.
And we got a scratch in this one in lane 3 for ready up top.
As they are about to get underway for this second heat of the 7th grade boys 400-meter dash. They are off. So coming around the first curve, pretty tight between what looks like A. McCall, Burnett, and Granados. With 200 meters left on this 400. Holding strong are Burnett and Granados out of Alice Johnson, followed by McCall out of Galena Park. Coming around the curve for this last 100. Finishing strong is, Johnson, H. Johnson, and R. Burnett. Going to be a tight finish here at the line between the two. Johnson trying to make up ground, but looks like Burnett finishes just ahead with McCall coming up third, followed by Granados and Navarro. So a great finish right there at the end by H. Johnson and R. Burnett.
I don't see anybody.
I want to say Burnett barely got him, but waiting on those results.
Nobody in lane 4. Nobody in 3, nobody in 1. Lane 3.
Lane 3, so
Okay, so
Paso.
lane 3 scratch, you said? Yeah, you were right. That was.
No.
Oh, I got you. I got
So
you.
we scratched the wrong kid.
Okay.
They had Jackson Johnson that came.
Okay, so
I didn't take Johnson out.
Alice Johnson is going. It's going to be Burnett.
Burnett.
Yep, he's 103.66. And that looks like Cunningham.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're going to have a little time after you say
It's
it.
going to be
I got you.
103.78.
I'll get him over there.
And then it looks like maybe Galena Park. Yep.
At this time, this is the first call for the 7th grade boys 300-meter hurdles.
Down here at the
At this
bottom.
time, this is the first.
So Burnett able to finish first with a 103.66. Johnson with a 103.78, followed by McCall with a 112.91. So a very close finish right there on that second heat of the 400-meter dash for 7th grade. Coming up now are the 8th grade boys for the 400-meter dash. And in lane 1 is Isaac Paramo out of Highlands. Lane 2, D. Ubias out of Galena Park. Lane 3 is A. Williams out of Cunningham. Lane 4 is K. Carruthers out of North Shore. Lane 5 is S. Marquin out of Galena Park. And lane 6 is J. Harrell out of Cunningham. Lane 7 is B. Reyes out of North Shore. And then no lane 4, no Carruthers out of North Shore. Everybody else on the track as they are ready to get underway. And they are off. So the 8th grade boys 400-meter dash underway. Coming around the first curve, pretty neck and neck. Everybody in their respective bunch. Harrell and Williams trying to separate themselves from the pack, but staying close is Paramo and Ubias. Coming around their last curve, last 100 meters is going to be a good sprint to see who able to finish first here. And it looks like Harrell getting out in front of his teammate Williams, followed by Paramo. Followed by Ubias. Then Reyes, then Marquin. So a great last 100-meter push right there from Harrell. Him and his teammate Williams were neck and neck up until that point, able to separate himself. Followed by Paramo and Ubias.
This is the final call for the 7th grade boys 300-meter hurdles. Final call for the 7th grade boys 300-meter hurdles. This is the first call for the 8th grade boys 300-meter hurdles. Check in there.
So Harrell able to finish with a 1:00:06. Williams with a 1:03:05. And then Paramo with a 1:07:04 to finish that up. Second heat for the 8th grade 400-meter dash is C. Brown in lane 4 for Cunningham, J. Soto in lane 5 for North Shore, and C. Zapata in lane 6 for Galena Park. And they are off. So coming around the first corner, Brown for Cunningham able to stretch out his lead, followed by Zapata and then Soto. So Brown hitting his stride. Zapata and Soto, second and third, behind Brown, who is separating himself from the pack. Has a good stride going here. Able to finish first for Cunningham. Going to be a good finish between Zapata and Soto for Galena Park and North Shore. Zapata trying to finish strong. Soto on his tail. Teammates cheering him on from the sidelines. Zapata able to finish in second for Galena Park, followed by Soto for North Shore.
At this time, we'll get some help putting hurdles on the track. At the lowest settings on the black tab, please. We'll get some guys to help us set up the hurdles. Black tab. Put the hurdles at its lowest setting. Thank you, guys.
Because he was fixing those other two guys. What was the third place performance?
So Brown doing a fantastic job, finishing with a 58.89. A great time, especially when you're in 8th grade. Followed by Zapata with a 119.66, and then Soto with a 121.07. So up next will be the 7th grade boys 300-meter hurdles, as they are putting the hurdles back onto the track. The rain has stopped for now. Wind still blowing as hard as when they first started. But the obstacles continue to present themselves here this evening in North Shore. So Brown leading all boys for the 400-meter dash with that 58.89, followed by Harrell with the 1:00.06, Williams with the 1:03.05, Paramo with the 1:07.04, Ubias with the 1:11.78, Reyes with the 1:16, Marquin with the 1:18.49, Zapata with the 1:19.06, and Soto with the 1:21.07. As they get the hurdles back on the track.
Right here, we ain't got no hurdle set up in 8th grade. Because I'm missing a hurdle in 8 right here.
So the 7th grade boys 300-meter hurdles about to get underway. In lane 2 is Jay Thomas out of North Shore. Lane 3 is I. Ruiz out of Alice Johnson. Lane 4 is M. Stelly out of Cunningham. Lane 5 is K. Merchant out of North Shore. Lane 6 is P. Williams out of Cunningham. Lane 7 is T. Cortez out of Galena Park. And as of now, they will all be on the track racing in this event.
We're ready up top, coach. I need to move those people from the finish line, make sure nobody's in front of that camera.
As the boys at the starting line, the gun is going up. And we are underway for the 300-meter hurdles. Getting out in front is Merchant for North Shore. Merchant able to hold his lead over his competitors so far. But quickly on his tail are Williams and Stelly, both out of Cunningham, followed by Thomas out of North Shore. Excuse me, it's Stelly out of Cunningham and Ruiz out of Alice Johnson. But still leading is Merchant, trying to finish strong, one hurdle to go. Able to finish out in front is Merchant, followed up quickly by Alice Johnson, North Shore, and Cunningham.
You can get him off the track, coach. We got a stretch right here, guys, in heat 2, lane 3.
So Merchant able to finish with the 55.25 on that the 300-meter hurdles for 7th grade boys. I will get you the rest of the times here in a jiffy. But coming up next is the second heat for the 7th grade boys 300-meter hurdles. Only 2 racers in this one. Looks to be in lane 4 and 5. N. Simmons out of Cunningham and R. Madrano out of Alice Johnson. So these boys have been in a couple races already. Still going strong here for the 300-meter hurdles, as they are off. And I only imagine how the 100-meter hurdles would treat me, but 300 adding a little bit to it, I don't think I would even show up. So Simmons, Madrano out in front, followed by Simmons. Madrano, good stride going here on the last 100, clearing the last few hurdles. Simmons behind him. Clearing the last hurdle is Madrano and finishing, followed by Simmons. So only 2 racers in that heat. Madrano able to take it for Alice Johnson, followed by Simmons for Cunningham. So 53.57 for Madrano, and then a 1:00.66 for Simmons. Madrano pacing all racers for the 300-meter hurdles by a solid 2 seconds. But next up is the 8th grade 300-meter hurdles. In lane 2, we have M. Moore for Galena Park. Lane 3 is Q. Darkins out of Cunningham. Lane 4 is C. Patterson for North Shore. Lane 5, C. Lopez for Galena Park. Lane 6 is G. Chandler for Alice Johnson. And lane 7 is C. Smith for Cunningham. And they are off, clearing the first set of hurdles, moving on to the second. Currently pacing is Chandler for Alice Johnson. Out in front, pretty strong here. Trying to catch up in lane 3 is Darkins out of Cunningham, but Chandler trying to maintain that lead. 1 hurdle to go. It's going to be a close finish, but Chandler able to take it, followed by Darkins. So Chandler, Darkins, and then followed by Smith there for the 300-meter hurdles for the boys. 48-83, 53-75, 53-95, 53-394, 103-83, and 105-24. So Chandler able to finish with the 48-83, followed by Darkins with the 50-30. And then Smith with the 53-75 and Patterson with the 53-94.
Radio time, Coach K.
Which one's scratch? 3. So with another scratch in lane 3, Girola for Galena Park. That leaves Lovings and Escobedo for Cunningham and North Shore. Clearing the first hurdles. They are neck and neck, moving through the second. Tightly contested are these 2 athletes, Lovings and Escobedo. Lovings trying to separate himself a little bit. But Escobedo right behind him. On the last 100-meter stretch, Lovings trying to extend that lead and hold on to it. And able to finish first is Lovings for Cunningham, followed by Escobedo for North Shore.
not walking in front of the thing.
So a 51.68 by Lovings, then a 55.50 by Escobedo.
From that camera, so he's got to stay.
And then the times for the 300-meter hurdles, Madrano leading all racers with that 53.57, followed by Merchant with the 55.25, Ruiz with the 56.75, Thomas with the 57.13, Stelly with the 58.17, Simmons with the 1:00.68, Williams with the 1:03.91, and Cortez with the 1:16.16.
We're clear from the hurdles and we're ready up.
Moving on is the 7th grade boys 200-meter dash, clearing all the hurdles
Scratches in this
off the track. Looks like we will have a full 8 lanes as of now. But Burnett in lane 1 for Alice Johnson, Kay Combs lane 2 for Galena Park, Curry lane 3 for Cunningham, Josso lane 4 for Highlands, P. Chavez lane 5 for North Shore, Hurtado for lane 6 in Cunningham, Chiante for lane 7, Alice Johnson, and A. McCall lane 8 for Galena Park. 7th grade boys 200-meter dash about to get underway. And then the final results for the boys 300-meter hurdles, leading all racers is G. Chandler for the 48.83, Darkins for the 50.30, Lovings for 51.68, Smith for the 53.75, Patterson with the 53.94, Escobedo with the 55.50, Moore with the 1:03.83, and Lopez with the 1:05.24. So no Combs in lane 2 and no Chiante in lane 7 for the 7th grade 200-meter dash as they are underway. Out in front is McCall, followed by Hurtado. Coming here on the last 100. It's going to be a good sprint. Hurtado leading, followed by McCall, and then Burnett. As Hurtado able to finish first, then McCall, followed by Burnett, so able to maintain their spots. Was Cunningham, Galena Park, and then Alice Johnson. Very close finish throughout. All racers were relatively very close with one another, all within a second's piece. And I will get you those times here in a little bit. But finishing first was Hurtado, second McCall, and third Burnett. Coming up on the second heat of the 7th grade boys 200-meter dash is P. Ford in lane 2, M. Ray in lane 3. You have Babbitt in lane 4, J. Valdez in lane 5, Lawson in lane 6, and C. Clay in lane 7. So no M. Ray in lane 3 for Cunningham. Everybody else is on the track. The gun is off, and the second heat of the 200-meter dash is underway. Starting off strong is Clay and Lawson here on the outside. Clay trying to catch Lawson. Quickly behind him, very neck and neck. Gonna be a good finish. But Lawson able to take first, followed by Clay, then Babin, then Ford, and then Valdez.
Pat, no scratches right here? Okay.
28.15.
Okay, I got
28.92.
I got them. Okay, so we got
29.36.
At this time, this is the first call for the 7th grade boys 1600 meter run. At this time, this is the first call for the 7th grade boys 1600 meter run. Check in at this time. 7th grade boys, first call for the 1600 meter.
So 28.15 run by Lawson, followed by Clay with a 28.92. Babin with a 29.36. Ford with a 30.09, and then Valdez with a 34.75. So the first heat of the 8th grade boys 200-meter dash is underway. Out on the outside, coming around is Hardman for Cunningham, leading the way. Followed closely, but it looks like Hardman able to take it. Followed by Bailey for Cunningham and Brown for Cunningham. So a competitive race against teammates right there. As the second heat for the 8th grade boys 200-meter dash is getting underway. And the final results for the 200-meter dash 7th grade boys would be Lawson 28:15, Hurtado 28:49, and Clay with a 28:92. With Babin, McCall, Ford, Burnett, Chavez, Curry, Josso, and Valdez finishing in that order. So as the second heat getting underway here for the 8th grade 200-meter dash. The gun is off and they are coming around the corner. It is a tight one here between Encico and Macias. Neck and neck for Galena Park and Highlands. It's going to be a close finish here at the line. Both runners running hard. A close finish there between Macias and Encico. So I will get you those results as quickly as possible. They were neck and neck the whole way. So Encico able to edge Macias out in the 200-meter dash with the 26.92 to the 27.05. So just above 1/10 of a second. Encico able to grab it from Macias. It was a great photo finish between those two. As we move on to the 7th grade boys 1,600-meter run. We will have 12 participants as of now. We'll keep you updated if there are any scratches, but we have N. Simmons out of Cunningham, A. McCall out of Galena Park, M. Ponce out of North Shore, I. Cavozos out of Alice Johnson, Granados out of Alice Johnson, M. Stewart out of Cunningham, Cornell out of Highlands, Alamarez out of Cunningham, Torres out of Highlands, Granados out of Alice Johnson, Gutierrez out of North Shore, and then Martinez out of North Shore. But it looks like it is starting to sprinkle here once again. The wind has not slowed down. Not ideal running weather. But these 7th and 8th grade boys have been giving it their all on the track meet this evening. But as they are lining up here for the 1,600-meter run, I have a count of 7 on the track, now 8, so still possibly missing a couple players. But the 1 mile run is here, 1,600 meters, 4 laps around the track. 7th grade boys here first.
No 12. No 12, no 7. And no 9. No 12, no 7, no 9. So 7, 9, and 12. Strike.
So no Cornell out of Highlands, no Torres out of Highlands, and no Martinez out of North Shore participating in the 7th grade boys 1,600-meter run. But all the other athletes are down there fighting the cold, fighting the weather, trying to finish up strong here in North Shore. Thank y'all again for tuning in today. Did get started a little behind. However, we have been moving at Godspeed here, getting the races through, trying to beat the weather. As we await the 7th grade boys 1,600-meter run.
Yeah, we're ready, Coach.
And the final results for the 8th grade boys 200-meter dash goes as followed. Hardman with a 25.42, Bailey with a 26.84, Brown with a 26.87, all Cunningham. And then Encico out of Highlands with the 26.92 with Macias, 27.05 out of Galena Park, and then Moore with the 27.83 out of Galena Park with Perez, Washington, Gutierrez, Lopez, Green, Gonzalez, and Herrera finishing that up. But the gun has sounded. The 1,600 meters is underway. And the boys are off. Fighting the wind, fighting the rain. These boys trying to pace themselves to try to come out in front here in the 1,600-meter run. Coming up here on their last curve of the first lap is led by North Shore. Separating himself from the pack is Ponce. You can tell that wind is not fun to run in, especially when you're in a tank top and shorts. And the boys are fighting hard, fighting through it. With McCall racing again, making his rounds, going from 3rd to 2nd, now trying to pass up Ponce for 1st right at the end of the first lap. So 1 lap down, and McCall able to snag that 1st spot with 3 laps to go. But here on the first curve, McCall still holding steady, followed by Ponce of North Shore. But thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. I have been your host, Tanner DeLeon. We have hosted the schools Cunningham, Galena Park, North Shore, and Alice Johnson. Thank you all for participating and cheering on this evening. Gonna have to get you a nice warm bowl of soup after this race with the cold, wet, and windy weather that is currently going on, finishing up this meet. But Ponce able to regain the lead above McCall as they are finishing up this 2nd lap. Halfway down, still have a long way to go. As they are cheering their teammates on. With everybody still trying to stay pretty close in the pack, you have to be able to pace yourself through these long distance races. It's not a sprint, it is a marathon. So you find your stride, you find your breathing technique, and you keep that rolling to the best of your abilities. But still holding the lead right now is Ponce, followed by McCall, who is neck and neck with P. Granados at Alice Johnson. Followed by Aleve, either Simmons or Cavazos. But Ponce back out in front. McCall and Granados neck and neck in the second spot. It is still anybody's race because they still have a whole nother lap to go. Anything can happen. From what we saw earlier on some long distance races, there were some good finishes in that last 100 meters. So something to keep an eye on as they approach their final lap. But it is Ponce, followed by Granados, then by, I believe, M. Stewart, and then McCall. But McCall making a pass, moving back up to third. It's very close between the top four right now as they are in their last lap. Still anybody's race. But Granados has turned on a second gear and is starting to separate himself from Ponce. Looks like he has been saving it up until this final lap. But coming up here with only 200 meters to go, it looks like Granados, Ponce, and McCall round out the top three with Stewart. As Stewart just passed McCall for that third spot, but Granados has separated himself in that first place spot, looking to finish strong. McCall hitting another gear now on this final curve for Galena Park, passing Stewart for third, passing Ponce for second. But it looks like Granados will be able to take it here for Alice Johnson, followed by McCall, who's given a good sprint at the end, followed by Stewart, who is trying to hawk him down here in the winding seconds, followed by Ponce. A great finish right there. McCall able to make up 2 spots to finish second. And a good sprint here at the end. Cavazos, Alvarez, and ex-Granados rounding it out, finishing strong. Followed by S. Gutierrez. And Simmons rounding it out. So a good finish right there. Granados, P. Granados, Alice Johnson able to take first, with McCall taking second out of Galena Park, and Ponce fourth, excuse me, with Stewart in third for Cunningham. So next up will be the 8th grade 1,600 meter run. Supposed to have 7 in that one. I believe I see 6 down on the track.
7:30:25 and 7:33:57.
We got scratch one, gray. We ready up top?
So M. Wooldridge out of Galena Park, S. Scott out of Cunningham, Green out of Highlands, J. Silva out of Galena Park, Cheek out of Highlands, and A. Rosales out of Cunningham will round out the 8th grade 1600-meter run. As the gun sounds and they are off. So I'll get you the finishing times for the 7th grade boys here shortly. As 8th grade boys are underway.
You want to make it over the loudspeaker? All right. When you combine the both 7th and 8th grade boys, look at the stretch and that thing too, the 7th grade. And with that stretch in the 7th grade,
So a good stride starting out here in the first 200 meters.
Pat, who told me about the stretch in the relay?
Starting out strong. 2 runners separating themselves from the pack. As soon as I get their numbers, I will relay the information. That looks like Green from Highlands and Cheek from Highlands leading the way. So teammates who both ran the 3200 earlier continue to dominate here in the 1600, leading the way, followed by Wooldridge and Silva, both out of Galena Park. Then Scott and Rosales for Cunningham. But Cheek and Green holding strong in that 1-2 spot, followed by Wooldridge and Silva. As 1 lap is down, 3 to go. Always found it interesting that the 3200-meter run was ran first and then the 1600-meter run was ran at the end, especially when racers participating in both go so long in between. Could cause for tired legs, cramped legs, but it also could benefit them. Would love to get a little bit of insight on that of what they prefer. I'm sure they wouldn't want one or the other back to back. But Green and Cheek leading for Highlands out in front.
What was the stretch from? Which 7th grade?
As I have the times for the 7th grade boys 1600-meter run. P. Granados out of Alice Johnston with the 6:44.03. A. McCall for Galena Park with the 6:51.22. P. Alvarez for Cunningham 6:53.04. And then followed by Ponce, Cavazos, Simmons, Granados, Gutierrez, and Stewart, finishing up that 7th grade 1600-meter run. So moving strong still is Green, followed by Cheek, followed by Wooldridge and Silva for Galena Park, and then followed by Scott and Rosales for Cunningham. So Green and Cheek not slowing down as they are halfway there. But Green, an impressive run so far, not slowing down. Won the 3200 and looks like he's on his way to winning the 1600, followed by Cheek. Wooldridge and Silva slowing down in that 3rd and 4th spot, getting passed by Scott for Cunningham at the moment. See how much juice is left in the tank for these boys here on the 1600 meter. So Scott currently battling it out for that 3 spot. with Silva, followed by Wooldridge, who is holding his right quad, so hopefully he is okay. But Green and Cheek still going strong in that 1 and 2 spot. Green making his sprint, making his way around. He has not slowed down at all. It's quite incredible. Finishing strong is Green. Out in front. Finishing second is Cheek. That third and fourth spot still up for grabs between Scott and Silva. They have been going back and forth here on these last 2 laps, followed by Wooldridge and Rosales. So very anxious to see these last 100 meters by Silva and Scott. They are neck and neck as they approach the final curve here in this 1600 meter. One last sprint, one last push to try to enter yourself into that top 3. Silva going to try to make his move. Excuse me. Silva making his move on Scott. Scott trying to maintain it. He has a step on him. I don't know if Silva's going to be able to catch him. It's a good finish. And Scott able to finish third, followed by Silva. Wooldridge finishing strong here on the last 100 meters. Finishing 5th, followed by Rosales. So a good finish right there in the 8th grade 1600 meter run. Green finishing first with Cheek in second, Scott in third, Silva in fourth, Wooldridge in fifth, and Rosales in sixth. As Rosales is finishing up strong here. I will get you those times as soon as possible. But only one more event left is the 4x4 meter relay. Finishing strong.
Again, we'll combine the 7th grade and 8th grade boys division in the 4x100 meter relay.
5:44:34. 5:45:59.
Lane assignments as follows. In the 8th grade boys division, starting with them, we have Galena Park in 1, North Shore Middle in 2,
Okay.
Cunningham Middle in 3. 7th grade boys, we have Cunningham boys in 4, and North Shore boys in 5.
Oh, what'd you have? Let me see what your second and third.
Yo, you say you combine the two?
Yeah, we'll combine.
What are the lanes?
So, Galena Park, 8th grade in 1, North Shore, 8th grade in 3,
I got the back of this guy's.
and Cunningham, 7th grade in 4,
But no, just leave it there.
and then
Okay,
North Shore
leave it.
5.
Leave it.
So combining the last event of the day, the 4x4 meter relay, combining 7th and 8th grade. In lane 1 will be Galena Park with W. Mejia, D. Ubias, J. Macias, and M. Lewis. Lane 2, North Shore, K. Carruthers, B. Reyes, J. Mouton, J. Soto. Lane 3, Cunningham, A. Williams, C. Brown, T. McDuffie, and J. Harrell. Lane 4, Cunningham 7th grade now, D. Barnes, B. Suds, H. Johnson, and Curry. And then lane 5 for North Shore 7th grade, C. Matthews, G. Mack, K. Bonilla, and C. Calicut. So combining them all here to finish strong, the 4x4 meter relays.
The 8th graders got stickers on, so that's how we'll know. Okay, well, let us know.
right now.
Yeah, we're ready up top, Coach.
Cunningham's in the lead. This is the second place. Just in case you want to use that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know what those numbers were. So.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to teach you that.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
It is first week, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really close, and like on a relay, first place is worth 20 bucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
A regular race, first place is worth 10. But when it's a relay, the first place is worth 20, so you can end up winning a meet basically off of a few points like that.
Okay, okay.
And here's this one.
And so rounding out the point totals,
And we're getting ready for the last race, yeah.
heading into this final race as it is underway, is led by Cunningham with 2:58 for the 8th grade. 8th grade boys, 2:58. Second, Galena Park with 88. North Shore third with 58. Highlands in fourth with 46, followed by Alice Johnson in fifth with 36. And then the 7th grade boys, first in Cunningham is 185. Second is North Shore in 108. Third is Galena Park in 76. Alice Johnson in fourth is 68. And Highlands in fifth with 34. As the first leg is done by the 4x4 relay. Out in front in lane 3 is Cunningham. Followed closely.
We got somebody bringing them in. Pat, I think Pat's bringing them in.
So out in front is 8th grade Cunningham. Followed by Galena Park and North Shore. North Shore trying to make their move on Galena Park to get that second spot, but right now Ubayez for Galena Park trying to hold on, Reyes trying to pass, and Brown holding the one spot for Cunningham. As the third leg about to get underway, Cunningham making the handoff from Brown to McDuffie, followed by Galena Park, handing to Macias, and then North Shore.
Bump him down, bump him down, bump him down.
And then 7th grade Cunningham bringing it up. So right now in order is 8th grade Cunningham, 8th grade Galena Park, as they are neck and neck with 8th grade North Shore and 7th grade North Shore. And then 7th grade Cunningham in 5th. So making their stretches here at the end. Cunningham leading the both 7th and 8th grade in point total. But North Shore for 7th grade trying to make their leap and maintain the second. And Galena Park for 8th grade trying to stay in second and make a leap as well. But on their last leg, Cunningham out strong in first, followed by North Shore, 7th and 8th grade. Followed by Galena Park, 8th grade. And Cunningham, 7th. So the last leg, last 400, the last event of the evening. Gonna be Cunningham out in front, but could be close between both North Shore 7th and 8th, followed by Galena Park 8th. But finishing strong is Harrell for Cunningham. We have Soto for North Shore, Lewis for Galena Park, Curry for Cunningham, and Calicut for North Shore. As Cunningham able to finish out in front. Followed closely, the Cunningham 7th grade anchor trying to close the gap, and he was able to do so strong here. North Shore finishing 2nd and 3rd, followed by Galena Park, and then Cunningham. So Cunningham 8th grade finishing 1st, followed by North Shore 8th grade, North Shore 7th grade, Galena Park 8th grade, and then Cunningham, 7th grade, to wrap up the final race of the evening.
409.46, 423.62.
Thank you all for tuning in this evening. It has been a blast covering the schools across the Houston area, seeing these young athletes making their way up through middle school, junior high, next level high school. Best of luck to these athletes moving forward in the remainder of the season. It was a great finish all the way around. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Tanner De Leon, and we will see you next time.